in this scene, Henry and Delilah get sort of the closest they get in the game in terms of their intimacy. Sissy, I think you've been drinking.
What?
I think that's pretty obvious. Rich / Henry, you're you, delightfully awkward in all of your painful ways. And something, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I had this notion that this was going to get really hot and heavy. Right now, the scene sort of ends very, like, in a suggestive manner, and I was going to write it to be much more explicit and to go into a place of just, like, raw, I guess you would call it
sex?
nakedness, even though, like, it's audio, but just very, like, private and sexual. But I didn't because I was afraid. Like,
I love that you didn't.
Yeah.
I'm glad of that too.
Number one, because awkward walkie-talkie sex is just awkward. But number two, because if the player isn't playing it as a flirty relationship, then it doesn't have to go there. And then this way kind of leaves it up to people's imaginations, which I think is more poignant than spelling it out.
I think also we became so close as a trio over this that having to sit in on that after having to write it was going to be like a bridge too far for me. Yeah, I just wanted to say you guys did such a like amazing job with the very limited stuff I put on the page in the scene. This is probably my favorite scene in the game.
You like set the mood, you lit the candle, you know.
I'll just leave this here. Just light
Put
this
the needle
candle
on the record.
Yeah, little Moody Blues and walk out.
Poured the bourbon.
Yeah.
No, it was easy to feel all of that. Rich, really? I feel like I'm yapping the whole thing about, like, yapping on about it. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, so good.
When Delilah asks you, hey, are you looking at the fire? Most players are just either looking at it or about to pull the trigger and say, or hit shift and scroll to, yeah, I'm looking at it. And she goes, great, and starts talking about the fire. But because we are game developers and we know what you're looking at, if you are just staring at Delilah's tower when she says, hey, are you looking at the fire? Henry, without your input, will go, no, I'm looking at you. And Delilah's response to that, the way Sissy Jones played it, is so perfect. It's surprised and like almost like you can feel the one little butterfly in her belly. And I'm just so tickled with it as a moment in the game. I think Jane or someone came up with it and was like, yep, we're doing that. And it was in the game very, very shortly thereafter. So next time you play 64, or if you haven't gotten to that point right now, do that and you will be hopefully as tickled as I was.